Yeah, oh, that's not a movie or something, ain't it? Oh, I know. We could talk about the Minecraft movie we watched.
What'd you think?
I loved it.
You loved it?
It took me a few days to figure out whether I liked it or not.
I think it would have been more if I knew more about it, having to
Yeah.
do with certain, things with the game, like Steve being the first playable character and
Yeah,
stuff.
exactly.
It's just little stuff like that it's
Little
like,
details.
if anybody watches NASCAR, you after you leave the race, you're going to have a driver that you follow, right? And then
Yeah.
you know what's going on, even if it's just cars going around in a circle, because NASCAR. Woo, woo,
Yeah, because
up to the-
there's a lot of stuff in there that I didn't know what was going on. Those pigs, I had no idea.
All right, if I got a message during
I'll turn
pay
into
attention
steaks.
still,
What was it
like
with those
before.
villagers that had
I
like
get a-
nose and
Those
it's like,
those are like every time you
Ooh.
create a board,
they
those
just
guys-
automatically fill in.
you come across them. They're like a lifesaver sometimes because if
They
you're
inhabit?
they have usually when you run into them, there's a village. And
Uh-huh.
She
they're
calls
running.
me, it might be a different story, but I'll pay attention.
We're talking about the Minecraft movie.
Oh, no, I'll leave then. I didn't watch it.
oh yeah, but I mean, you could throw your 2 cents in if you want to. We're just doing spoilers.
Yep.
Spoiler alert. But so yeah, those villagers, they're like they're actually a lifesaver a lot of times because they may have stuff that you can trade with them,
Mm-hmm.
stuff you need, um, tools or
Right. Okay, so that makes sense.
items that you may need to be able to create stuff to continue forward in the game, kind of thing. What they did in the movie is pretty funny of them. Let's see.
Man sandwich.
So yeah, that was very hilarious.
Oh my gosh. I
So-
think that's the only thing. If there was I thought it was cool how they, you have a story where they have that, and it's, throwback to the 80s. Again, spoiler alert. But I think the only con that I have with it, for not knowing as much as some may on it, would be the whole thing, because I don't know if it's for adult humor, but it's, with I have the one villager there and the one teacher, hitting on it. So I'm like, what's that got to do with Minecraft?
Yeah.
So it's like,
It's a funny. I think it's just a funny skit because I get it.
Yeah. So,
It's like, what are the odds? And
or even after post credit, okay.
so yeah, the pigs. I had no idea what those were because the only pigs I remember in Minecraft were the ones you farm.
Lava chops.
I have no idea, so I have no idea where those. I'm guessing it's probably from one of the spin-off Minecraft games
Mm-hmm.
somehow.
Okay.
Maybe they crossed over somehow or something. I don't know the connection. I'll have to look into it. What those big tall, gangly guys that they use?
Golems.
I don't know, the big tall,
Oh,
Yeah,
the one with the
talking
the
eyes.
robot looking things. with
yeah,
really,
keep
the-
long,
discussing Minecraft.
really long arms and legs, and they used them to fight the battle.
Yeah.
I have no idea where those are
Golems,
from.
but-
I have no idea. I knew the bad guy. That remember the kid looked at the bad guy and was like hypnotized by him.
Mm-hmm.
That was one of the bad guys at the end of the game when you go through the portal you got to beat,
Okay.
kind of thing. So I knew
Interesting.
what that
Okay.
one was, but I didn't know the other ones.
Okay,
were.
where the Earth
And
thing
then
was. Yep.
trying to think what else. So there's just a lot of weird random things that I didn't understand. I didn't get that Steve was, and I don't know why I didn't. I just completely forgot that he was the main character in the game. Like
Mhm.
he's the first. He's who you play
Mm-hmm.
in the game. And then, but anyways, I like the movie. And then it wasn't anything like we thought was gonna happen. Like with Jason Momoa, you thought he was gonna be whatever, but he ended up being just a guy that was living stuck in that time
Prime
era.
days.
Yeah, he liked playing the games. He won an award or something back in
Mhm.
the day, and he just couldn't get past that in his life.
It all worked out in the end with the retro game. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I mean, I get where he's coming from. That was cool.
Yeah.
I'm glad it worked out. But see what else? Oh yeah, and then the viral things that are going around, like was it chicken fight or whatever the heck that was? The things I didn't like in the movie
Mm-hmm.
was there was a few times, 2 or 3 times in the movie, certain scenes. I'm guessing it was because of the trailers. For whatever reason, people went
Weren't the
insane. I
same?
don't know if they did that in your room. There's 3 different times, different scenes where all of a sudden the little kids turned into like maniacs. They
Really?
they quoted the movie. All of them jumped up out of their seat and was running around going crazy, throwing popcorn everywhere. They quoted the movie and just went insane.
So was this a thing where people are just doing it on purpose?
I don't know. I just know that later on, down the rest of the week, I was seeing on the news that the cops are being called
It's
on.
just weird how stuff goes on TikTok, and then all of a sudden everybody's got to do some banana.
It's
game
my
or
guess
something.
it's some kind of weird trend or something. Because
I
I'm
mean,
like,
it's
I'm
not
sitting there
funny,
trying to
but-
enjoy the movie,
Right. Then you have.
and then all of a sudden these people are running around like crazy maniacs. So I didn't understand that
I mean,
part
I know
at
I
all.
had the wrestle with that one kid that was like a zombie creature or whatever, but I don't understand what would set children off to
Yeah, that was
whatever.
it was my son had to explain it to me, my youngest son. So I looked into it a little bit. It was just scenes from the trailers. They got excited over scenes from the
And
trailers.
then it didn't happen. How they had to advertise.
No, it
sometimes
just
stuff is
it's just
the trailers
they
go.
for whatever reason. It's what you do in this time of day and age. You act like a ding dong or something. I don't know. It's like they don't
I don't
think.
know.
It's just.
Well.
I'm guessing it's like when you actually get to be part of a trend,
Mm-hmm.
you
Yeah.
get that puffed upness kind of thing.
Oh, okay. Well, no, not exactly.
Yeah, no, because we don't act like that. Because we were always taught you don't act like that in the theater.
Mm-hmm.
But my guess is they made that connection with the trailer, and then for whatever
So
reason
they went into auto
they got
react
what-
mode,
exactly.
and like, that's what.
like
yeah.
they all had an emotional movement of some kind to it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like that's how deep it went. Because it was I'm guessing the times that they did it were quotes from the trailers of the movie.
Oh,
because-
because I was talking about Snicker Bar and
Yeah.
Rocky Road earlier.
I haven't been able to talk to you all week about it. That was one of the questions I wanted to ask you is if the people in your theater did the same thing.
Mm-mm.
So I heard another
I don't think
theater
so. I
doing
don't think
that.
anybody.
Yeah, because
reacted.
I checked. Well, I didn't check, but I found out later on down the week, like I said, as I was reading things, that people were getting kicked out of the theater because of it. Which I can see why. It's
Yeah.
distracting. It was
Mhm.
rude.
Well, it's part of any movie, the cell phone off.
And then
Certain
like
scenes
and
you
then
gotta
people, I guess you call them nerds or geeks or I don't know what the correct phrasing word terminology for them is.
Following.
The following,
Okay,
they're like they were talking throughout the whole movie.
that's rude.
They're saying the line, yeah.
Well, no, it wasn't just saying the line. It was just they're like, well, I'm the king of this game, so I'm gonna make sure my opinion is heard throughout the whole movie, like that kind of attitude.
Was it live? I mean, who's listening?
Just the people watching the movie, they were talking through
Okay.
it, saying, "Well, I don't like this because it doesn't do that in the game, and I don't like that because it's not like that in the game," and
Oh,
they're just like picking it
Well,
apart.
okay.
At that point, I'm
It's unfortunate.
enough where I go into a movie and I'm paying money to see the movie, and I hear
Yeah.
people talk, I would tell them to shut
Well,
up.
this, and I think this is what happened is I forgot that happened
Mm-hmm.
because usually, remember me and you, when we go, it's always 2 or 3 weeks after the movie came out.
Right.
Whenever we've
The
gone,
initial buzz. Yeah.
the initial whatever has died down.
Yeah.
You can go in and there's nobody in there. It's literally
Yeah.
2 or 3 people to watch the movie.
And I don't want to be hypocrite either. There's times where if someone's sitting next to me, I'll say something like, "Wow," because I'm excited what I see, but I
Yeah.
try not to just draw.
They having a
attention to
loud
myself and
conversation like
disrupt.
you're the ones in the theater.
What?
It's packed.
Yeah.
Like, hey, what's going on? Hey, you like this scene? I don't know. It's kind of stupid. Blah, 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 blah,
Yeah,
blah.
that's what happened.
Quiet back
And
there.
it's almost like they're critiquing the movie the whole time, which
Just
is
draw attention.
which is,
Malfunction.
which
See
is
what you did?
which is kind
Oh,
of
no.
silly.
Here we are.
But it's like years ago.
Thank
like
you.
the old Warsaw Theater.
Yep.
It was right before Dave went into the army, and we went out to watch Batman Forever, right?
Mm-hmm.
We were the
Is
only
that Val
ones.
Kilmer or Clooney?
Val Kilmer one.
Okay.
We were the only ones in the theater.
Rest
We
in
sat up.
peace.
We sat up.
Man,
We
what
sat
is
up
going
front.
on
We
with
sat
me
up
today?
front because the
Destroying
front
the set.
the front seat in the old theater wasn't like this where you're like there. So we're sitting there. We end up bringing on McDonald's food. It's like I didn't have it. Probably walked right by with like this ton of food.
Oh,
like,
no.
Oops, it's like 96 or 95 when it came out. But we're sitting there like we're hanging out because we're the only ones in the theater. And the guy that was like running it came in to watch the movie too. But we weren't being overly loud. We knew we were the only ones in there. We were like, just enjoy like we're just hanging out at home watching a movie. But
Well, you don't-
now if you do that with a full theater, it's like no, man.
Well,
Even if there's a few people in there, let's have some decorum. But people don't care about that.
I think the
It's
thing
all
of it
about
is there's
themselves.
times when you're talking and you want to hear yourself, you speak up louder over something that's already loud to be the loudest.
I just think it's rude. People
things
think that
escalate and don't need to be.
because I know people that are like that.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
there's a word for it, narcissistic,
Oh boy.
and
Yeah,
only their
that's-
opinion matters,
Yeah.
kind of thing. So I think it was somebody that was a big fan of the game, played the game for a million hours,
I meant that for humor too.
And
Just
then-
Yeah,
well,
no, I get it.
went
no,
in
no,
with a
I
bunch
don't
of
think it
friends,
was
and then they had to critique it. That's what I got from listening to the people.
I have to
And
admit,
it wasn't just like one; it was like groups. Of
yeah,
people
I think the one
doing
thing
it.
I did notice that I think there was, of course, there's age, that a lot of people that were going to watch it and stuff that some were really into it, with whatever they were wearing or however, and it's like it's okay, I know it's a very popular game and it's cool, but for the most part, just for to watch now, I have my children, 10 and 6, they probably don't know as much from playing it per se, but just for funsies to go, yeah,
And the price can't complain about the price though. I mean,
Oh, no.
$8
no,
per person. Like,
no.
that was awesome. I mean,
Yeah.
we did bring our own snacks in, but
It's so cool. The environments, how they made that, and this, I think that was really cool. There's some of it where the story was, but some of it just seemed rushed in the scenes where it
Well-
was real fast, and then it was kind of like,
my
don't
daughter
know,
pointed
it's
this
just weird.
out. She said it started off slow,
mm-hmm.
but then once it kicked in,
Once they're all in that world, then it was kind of like, okay, now we're on a journey
Then-
to mission.
then you got
Yeah.
to from point A to point B. Then
Yeah.
you're like, okay, this is happening. We're gonna go with this
Mm-hmm.
kind of thing.
Agreed.
So it was
I
kind of
agree
cool.
with that.
There wasn't too much jump around. Like I didn't. There were some things I didn't understand, like the concept of like the kids in school. Like that could have been probably left out of the movie, like the different weird scenarios of the kids in school kind of thing. Like I don't really
Newtown,
understand the importance of
Rocket
that.
hits a big potato.
I mean, I guess
catastrophic.
They're trying to introduce
Community
the
event.
characters, I guess,
Sure.
and so they did
Those-
rush through that. I mean, the school scenes
What a
weren't very.
day.
The school
Wow.
scenes weren't very. Weren't
Yeah,
very.
it's like a small town,
long.
man. It's like,
And then yeah, it was weird. It's like, and then it's like,
No, no,
okay,
that's
you're having
it,
like
you
a
know,
16-year-old girl be a parent.
right.
Okay, we're doing
Yeah,
this.
where's the parent? Yeah, that I
Where's
have
the
to admit
parents?
that. Yeah, exactly. Yes. Yeah. Yeah,
She's
I'm on that part
so
where
it's like a
it's
16-year-old
like,
girl who's
you don't
responsible
want
for
parents
younger
looking
brother.
like idiots and children just like, oh, we're gonna control and do stuff. They just don't want there's order. And just need to. Some will have opinions on that and don't want to go.
And then the other
more
thing
than what
too
they need to, but
was, remember, she became like part of like the boss of the company. That she was like filling in for her mom who's gone or something. Made no sense.
oh, the self defense classes.
I don't know. She was the factory, the potato factory.
Oh yeah, she got
She
a
was-
job
she-
there.
yeah,
she
she-
was. So she was.
So she was filling in for her mom who's no longer
prim-
with them anymore.
right. It was.
It's like-
yeah.
Whatever. So it's just a
Okay.
lot of unbelievable stuff in there, which I don't know. I get it. It's in a made up world.
Right.
Anything can happen.
Yeah. I mean, it's another can of worms.
Other than that, I liked it. It took me a
Yes.
few days to figure
Yeah.
out whether or not I liked it or not
Mm-hmm.
because I had to think about it.
Very creative.
The best part, I think, though, was the Easter egg.
Which was?
Hi, I'm.
I ain't gonna say it.
Should we spoil it?
No. Don't.
Okay, we'll leave you guys hanging on that one. All right. Anyways,
You're welcome.
we spoiled the rest of it for you. Go see it. We liked it. Take your kids. Make sure they don't act like a fool, though.